A little screencast about how to use Google and Google Tools and Google Drive with your students in classes. So I just wanted to show you a little bit about how I've used it in the past and kind of how I think you could adapt it to your classes. This is a little demonstration of things. So first thing we do is open up the Google page. I need to sign into my Drive. You can go to a variety of pages. Basically, you can just go to sign into your mail page if you wanted to, mail.google.com. You could sign into drive.google.com. Either one will bring you to the right place. Right now I'm at drive.google.com. I am going to sign into my account that I've been using with my Skills21 class, which is actually for you guys, that's a second name for the Digital Academy class. So Skills21. What I did at the beginning of the school year is I had all of my students in Digital Academy in the freshman class there. I have about 17 students create a Gmail account specifically for use with the class. With the challenge project that we do in the class for the expo, we do a lot of collaborative work, a lot of group work, things like that. So it's a nice way to stay in touch with my students and to allow them to work together very easily from home or anywhere. So once I've logged into my account, you can see I have a variety of tools up at the top. One of the things that I have is my Gmail account. My students do use this to communicate with me in the class, so I keep this specifically for my Skills21 Digital Academy class. Students know they can contact me there. But also, what I use mainly is this is the Drive portion, okay? So if I click on Drive, it'll just bring me right here. And this is a great place to go because what it can do is like we've talked about, Google Drive is a place to store things, but it's also a place to share things. So in my Drive, you can see I only have a few things here. I've only started using it this year with this class, but I've done a couple of things that I'd want to show you. One of them being this. If I click on that, you can see all I did was, again, click on this IVCS, IVIS2 picture competition document. And what this is my students worked collaboratively, but each of them kind of formulated a different idea of what to do with 3 objects. And this was in their virtual world unit. They had to figure out what to do with a bucket, a tub, and a brick. That was what they had to make things out of. And this is just a little presentation that I put together that shows the different drawings that they created. I think this was actually our winner right here. But what they did was they created this and I then put it together in a presentation. Now what I did from there, I'm just going to log into Moodle really quick to show you. In my Moodle course, if you go to my Moodle course in here, what I did was I created, I'll even switch it to a student so you can see it like that. I created a vote where the students had to choose their top competition entry. So they had all 7, this one's very pretty, she's a good artist. They had 16, 17 choices to go through, and the way that I had them choose one was by going in here and voting. So in here, you'll see what I did was create this upload your picture competition here. Now they had to vote on it. Actually, you can't see it right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to return to my normal role and just show it to you here. Underneath here, I went through and I created like a vote in here that they could use to be able to vote for their favorite. It's right here. Click on that. And you'll see it says, please visit this presentation to see your choices. And when the kids clicked on this link, it brought them directly to this document. And the way that I had that happen, instead of having to download the document or anything like that, all I did was I shared the link. So in the document itself, I went to the share features, and right now you can see when I hover over it, it says, right now anyone with the link can see this. They can't edit it or anything like that, but you can change your sharing parameters on a document. You can share a link. You can change this so you can say, I want it to be public to anybody. I want it to be private, or you can actually change the editing capabilities on it. So anyone who has the link can view, I can change that to be can edit or can comment. So if I wanted my kids collaboratively as a class to work on this presentation and give them each one slide of it, I could actually give them all editing capabilities by giving them can edit and then sending them the link in Moodle very easily. Another way that I can do that is I can actually add people on. So I can say that it's private, but I can actually share it with people instead. So it's kind of a nice way of being able to share and present things. What I can do here is this is what I can do to share it with different people. So say I wanted to share this document with one of my students that I know has an account. I can go like this and I can say share and save. And now what it'll do is it'll allow him to edit this presentation as well as go through and just view it online or whatever he wants to do with it. So you could do that with your whole class if you wanted to and create a collaborative editing situation. You can also have your students, what my students are working on right now is they're actually collaborating on presentations on what they're going to do for their challenge activities. So let me show you that too. I'm going to go back into my drive and I'm going to go to the part where it says shared with me, okay? Now you can say pretty much the only documents that I've shared have been what are kind of like Word documents, but Drive does create other things, including presentations, just like PowerPoints, spreadsheets like Excel, forms are like surveys, and drawings are kind of like really simple online posters. So you can see I actually had them share a few different documents with me. This is so that I can keep track of what it is that they're doing. So if I assign homework and I want them to work on a document, I can see that they've shared it with me and what date they shared it with me. And then I can actually go into my student's document and see what they've been doing in real time. I can also check on what their editing has been. So I can see when the last time they touched it was, and you can see it's color-coded by the student. You can see the revision history. That comes in really handy when you're working on something where students are sharing documents among themselves. For example, right now my students are working on creating their challenge ideas. So I have groups of about 4 or 5 students, and so I have 4 groups. They each shared a document with me. And for example, if I pull this one up, you'll see they've just been thinking about different ideas that reflect bioutilization. So they've just been brainstorming things, and this is just a list. It looks like a regular Word document, and it talks about what it is that, what they've been keeping track of their works cited and things like that. But what's nice is I go like this, and you can see it says the last edit was made yesterday at 8:54 a.m. by Jay Parada. Okay, so that's one of my students. I can click on that, and it'll open up my revision history. You can see that all of the 4 students who are in this group have all touched this document at one point or another. And what's cool is if I go back through and I see what happened, you can actually go through and see at 8:58 on January 9th, this was added by my one student who uses a different account, but this is one of my students. And then I can click through and I can see, okay, so my student R. Morton added this statement right here. I can actually track exactly what they've been contributing to the group throughout. So you can see one of them was joking and typed in Ryan was here, right here. But what you can see then is that Ryan didn't really like that, so he came in and crossed that out and he deleted it, and they actually came up with something more useful. Komodo dragons can run up to 10 miles per hour. So you can see that I can actually track kind of what my students have been doing minute by minute throughout the class that they've been working on this. You can do this with any type of Google document. You can do it with a presentation. Like I said, here are the different ones. You can do it with a presentation, which is like a PowerPoint. You can do it with a spreadsheet. Any of these can be shared, edited by multiple users, and you can view their revision history. So it's kind of a nice thing to do. And I hope that this is just kind of like a really basic glimpse into what I've been doing. Like I say, my kids have kind of just been using this tool. It's really easy for them to know how to do it. They're very quick about doing things like that. So I kind of don't even have to tell them, hey, it would be smart to create a Google Doc. They kind of know that this is the best way to do it. And sharing with me is kind of intuitive too. They just share documents with me. They don't really think about it. And then I'm able to go back through and, like I say, see exactly what they've done. So I hope that you find this little introduction handy, and that you'll look into using Google and Google Tools and Google Drive with your own students. Thank you.